Hey everybody. I just set her down in the rock and play, covered her up. I don't know how long she'll sit there. She likes to be held. But I figured I'd try to record a little bit of her. The camera does make her look a lot darker than she actually is. There's not much I can do about that. It's because of the lighting in here. I only have the one light on. I don't want too much light. But she's a week old and she lost, I think, 4 ounces from birth, so not too bad. I figured I'd step back and talk about delivery day because I didn't really put that in the birth vlog. I just got home from the hospital and just downloaded everything that was on my phone and threw something together. And I was like half awake, half asleep when I edited that video. Now I go back and look at it and wish I had waited and done a little better, but that's what you get when you have a newborn. You do things half awake and half asleep. But on a serious note, you guys, she's been a very good baby. She's surprised me. She's so cute. And she's getting ready to smile in her sleep. She does that quite often. She like grins. But no, the Thursday before, I actually went into the hospital on Thursday the 17th. I had had contractions all day, and I didn't know if they were dilating me or not, so I figured I could just go in and at least get checked out and see what was going on, because I was in a lot of pain in my back. And I've never really felt contractions with all my other kids. My water broke before the contractions hit, then I got an epidural, then I got Pitocin, and then I pushed them out. So I never really felt any pain during labor. And so this time around, I wanted to do things just a little bit differently. So I wanted to be able to feel the contractions a little bit just to see what it would be like. But Thursday was definitely a false alarm. She said I had lost my plug, and I thought I was leaking water, but she said you lost, some of my plug, and I was already to 4 centimeters, and she's like, if your water breaks, just come right back in. So we went home. It was like after midnight on Thursday, and went to bed, and I had contractions on and off all day Friday, and I slept. I slept like a rock Friday. I was just like in and out every hour. And Saturday morning, I got up and I was having some cramping, and then I thought I felt what was like a small gush of water. And so I told my husband, I said, I think we should just go back in and get checked again. I think my water's broke. And it was like a trickle at the moment. And so we took the kids to his parents and headed up to the hospital, and I got in there, and the moment I got into the hospital, I could just feel it. I was like, yep, that's definitely my water. And I wasn't having very many contractions. They were like 5 minutes apart, and they weren't very strong. They were just like, period cramping kind of feeling, but that was about it. And they got me all hooked up and got some medicine in me, got me an IV going, and she checked me, and then around, I think it was like 6 o'clock, she gave me Pitocin. She goes, well, now that you're on Pitocin, she's like, do you want the epidural so you don't, have any pain? She goes, well, we can do that now. And I'm like, no, I want to feel the contractions. I've never really felt them before. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And she kind of gave me a weird look, and I think I had the Pitocin for an hour and a half, and 5 minutes in, I started feeling the contractions. And they weren't too bad. And about 20 minutes later, I was grabbing the rails of the bed, and about another 10 minutes after that, I was just like, my whole bottom end was hurting. Everything from my belly button to all the way radiating down to my hips. It felt like somebody was wrapping my hips and bottom in saran wrap, and like I couldn't move. It was pretty painful. But the moment the tears started flowing, she came in, she's like, are you ready for an epidural now? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready for it. I said, I've got my taste of it. They were pretty bad, but I don't see how anybody could go through that. My mom had 4 children, and they were all natural with no epidural, so I don't think I could do that. Once the tears came in, I was just like begging for that epidural, and I actually had 3 contractions while she was getting the epidural in, and I sat there and didn't move, and she was quick. And once that medicine hit me and I just felt that cold tingling sensation all the way down to my toes, I was like, yes. And then the laughter started. Me and hubby started joking around. We were watching TV, and I was the only one in labor and delivery that night. They had delivered everybody and moved them over to recovery on the other side. So anything that I needed, they were just like popping in every 5 seconds and chatting with us, and it was wonderful. It was a great experience as far as the labor and delivery was concerned. And she goes, if, you know, when she came and checked me that one time, she's like, you're at I think it was like an 8 or a 9. She goes, if you start feeling anything different, you let me know. You press that button. I'll be right here on the other side of this door. And I felt something a couple of times, and I was like, well, I better wait one more contraction and see if I feel it, then I'll buzz her, because I didn't want to be like a bother or anything. But you know how they are. When you're at the hospital, you're not supposed to be a bother. That's what they're there for. But we were just having a good time. Me and my husband, we were talking and chatting up and watching TV, and about that time I felt something. I was like, yeah, I'm going to press that button now. And she came in, she goes, that would be her head that you're feeling. And she's like, I'm going to call the doctor. So my doctor was actually away for the weekend, so I got the on-call doctor. And I had never really met her before. She was in my office, but I've never actually had seen her before. And she called and she's like, I'm on my way. They've got this road shut down right in front of the hospital, so just hold on. And both the nurses were in there, and she's like, stop making her laugh, Anthony, stop making her laugh. Because every laugh, her head was coming out a little bit more. And then the nurse took the bottom of the bed off and put both the stirrups up. And she went ahead and put each one of my legs in a stirrup. And with every laughter, she looked over at Anthony and she goes, I think I'm going to put her legs back down. And she put both my legs back down together because we had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to hold her in until the doc got there. We were all cracking up. It was so hard not to. You know when they tell you not to laugh and that's all you can do? That's pretty much what happened. And finally the doctor, she came in from the elevator, and she was scrubbed down and threw the gloves on and the robe or whatever over the front of her, sat down, and she was, okay, I'm glad you held her in. And literally, when I say she was born into a room of laughter, that's the God's honest truth. Even the doctor, all of us, we were just cracking up. And she was just born right into this world full of laughter. And I couldn't ask for anything better. I just couldn't. It was perfect. And got her all cleaned up and got to hold her, and she didn't want to wake up to feed. I had breastfed all my babies within the first 10 minutes after birth. And we waited, I asked her if we could delay the cord clamping. We did that until it completely stopped pulsing, because I wanted to get as much of the blood into her to try to avoid jaundice, because all of my kids have had jaundice. She's got a little bit of it. It looks darker on the video than it actually is in person, but she's been checked and she's definitely at the low level, so no problems with that just yet. But the first 24 hours, all she wanted to do was sleep. It took everything in me to get her to wake up to eat. And I'm like, come on, baby girl, it's time to wake up. We gotta eat. But by the 24-hour mark, she finally started eating and going to the bathroom and things like that. So she had a little bit of a late start. But it turned out okay. She was just tired. She was really tired. Yeah, CP baby. And then when we got released from the hospital, the whole first week she was home, all she wanted to do was eat and then immediately fall asleep. And then I think it was yesterday was the first day that she was awake for like 2.5 hours. And she was just looking around at everybody and checking out everybody and, kind of like, oh, this is my family. But as far as life here at home, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to let you get home, get you settled in and stuff like that. There was no having to get home and get settled in. She just meshed right in with us. Like it was just meant to be. We didn't have to change anything, as far as, bringing her home. And I know some people, they do different things or change their lifestyle around when they bring a baby home. But it's just, she kind of just meshed right in. Nothing's had to change at all. So that's been one of my favorite parts about this entire process, is that she's used to the sound. I don't have to tell the kids to really tiptoe or be quiet. They play, they holler and joke around and stuff like that, and she sleeps right there. I think she got so used to it while she was inside of me that it's just, it's second nature to her. So, yeah, the TV doesn't bother her, the bird doesn't bother her, and I thought that was going to be something. The bird's screaming, when he has his little fits because he's ready to come out of the cage, that was going to be a problem, but it wasn't, not at all. She sleeps right through that. So, of course, we're not letting the bird get anywhere near her, but that's just for safety precautions. But, yeah, everything's just been pretty much normal. Kids are playing, and they love her to pieces. Can we not do that? Thank you. Oh, she's so pretty. My pretty girl. Yeah. That bruise right there is where she tried to put a vein in, and it didn't work. I ended up having it put in my hand, and that worked out the best. But this over here, it completely blew. And then I have one more in the center of my elbow where they took blood. But other than that, this is all I'm waiting on to recover from. It's just for my little bruises to go away. From the moment she came out, I think an hour after she was born, I regained feeling in my legs, and I was ready to get up and start walking around. She's like, well, it'll take you another hour. Why don't we get you something to eat? So she brought me something to eat and something to drink, which cranberry juice all the way. I have drank cranberry juice after all of my children, just because they give you a catheter during the epidural, and I just want to be on the safe side. Besides, it's good to have cranberry juice. It's good for you. I don't drink pop, so it was either water, cranberry juice, or tea, and tea just makes me go to the bathroom more, so that was out of the question. But, yeah, recovery's been perfect. I haven't really been in any pain at all whatsoever. The first 24 hours when she would breastfeed, I had some cramping, but other than that, it wasn't anything that needed, like, medication requirements or anything, so. Yeah. I told the doctor, y'all, you make it so easy on me. It's like I want to have another and another and another. You kids make it so easy on Mama. Yes, you do. She's like, I'm not going to wake up. Okay. You want to wake up? Say hello? Oh, big yawn. Pretty baby. They're hiding Easter eggs. Alright, well, I've taken up enough of y'all's time today. Then we'll make another video. Maybe one when I'm awake. Can't wait till her little umbilical cord thingy falls off so I can give her a bath and wash her down real good. Right now we're just like sponging under her neck and her bottom, and I'll like wrap her up in a towel and just wash her hair in the sink until it comes off. I love this little outfit. Everything's really big on her, as you can see. These are all newborn, but they're huge on her. Alright. And say bye-bye. Say bye-bye, princess. I love you.